The silence of revving engines, pain junctions blue, a soliloquy of fire blasts in cinematic psychedelia. Life blitzed 5-star, black-eyed orphans playing the dust, dust on dust, as trucks smolder. Moon rot, sun swill, silver slipstreams, mood blood red, indigo night, fly-blown screens. Nothing is what it appears. Hanging out in desert winds, woven mosaics of body rot, reduced in past shadows, in the gut rot night. Stone by bleeding stone, home is where the dead are, laid out line by line, in moonlight dreaming, shooting stars, revving silence, stinking city ash. And the next one is visions. Ice cold, sharp, as snow drifts through broken glass. Echoes of cries blitz the night, owl-eyed, sharp. Jagged bricks, jagged beams, all is as it seems, shivering in corners. Cats slink around, looking for something. Rats in subterfuge, a smell of rats, a heap of dung. All is as it seems. No dreams here, no illusions, no purple blossoms, no resurgence of spring, no flashes of hope in the blistered high-rise where the poor lived, no hope in shabby splendor. Poverty is graceless. And thank you. And the last one is about the spring equinox. It's a bit different, but I'm writing it really for my friend's magazine because he likes to follow the seasons, and I know he's going to want a poem, so I wrote it for his magazine in England. It's called Spring Equinox. Easter smiles as the full moon reveals all, her flowing skirts of budding leaves. She wants to party for several nights, out of sight, but the moon is bright as it casts shadows on the trees, disguising the revelers, but shining on her face as a pink camellia in blossom. Now is the time to emulate Dionysian rites in a forest of twining leaves on beds of snowdrops. Maidens blush as winter leaves them bare, ready to play and be impregnated by the wind. Greek sages observe the festivities from on high. Tonight, witches will dance and play on the abandoned heath. This is nature in the raw, in her natural rhythms. No one can dictate to the wind. Will be renewed, buttercup shining chins. Dowagers will always disapprove as their time passes. Pagan rites under a silver moon on the first Sunday. The lunisolar calendar says it's time. All has been written in Latin, in Bede's careful hands. In Northumbria, he had a flair for language. His reckoning of time, an 8th century scroll, says it all. There has to be a reckoning, as bloodied eggs are boiled up in the pan, and a man carries a heavy wooden cross up a hill. Thank you very much.
On Walpurgisnacht. On Walpurgisnacht in the leper colony, behind the Reichstag, is burning in permafrost. Porcelain dolls in the orphanages of Dresden. A screaming Dybbuk in the firestorm. Cross streets in Sarajevo to the river Styx. No one's number is tattooed on the wrist. Tutankhamun's tomb raiders in Cunabula. Phoenician magicians deal tarot cards. On Walpurgis Nacht in the War Museum, asylum refugees arriving from Jerusalem, foreshadowing Lazarus at Gate Beautiful as the Reichstag is burning in permafrost. A shepherd from Galilee is arriving for prayers. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is sacrificed in the spirit of Dante Alighieri. The world of Clausewitz, no one's number is tattooed on the wrist. On Walpurgis Nacht, the Brockens necropolis, journeying back to work forever in Auschwitz, crisscrossing streets in the Warsaw Ghetto, remembering the assassination in Sarajevo. I'm a scintilla in a time window, foreshadowing beyond the city limits of Salzburg. I wept for Virgil's angels at the cenotaph. Space-time, daguerreotype ghost photographs, a screaming voice on the tannoy's echoes, broadcast from the BBC radio show, the coal-eyed daughters of St. Augustine. Tomorrow morning, the churchyard gates open. The Calculus of Impossibility. Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony played by algorithms in a room in the Hermitage, a Fabergé egg, within a lapwing's nest on an orange. Now let me start again, okay? The Calculus of Impossibility. Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony played by algorithms in a room in the Hermitage, a Fabergé egg, within a lapwing's nest on an olive branch, overarches a humanoid village believing real politique. There's isometric mirror images of satellite tracking, unviolated by their nuclear attack capability, intergalactic forces from a nearby planetary power, staying within the nuclei, then neutron bomb, listening to old radio broadcasts of Shostakovich, astrologers, soothsayers, and astrophysicists. Recall the history of the 20th century, a cacophony of echoes from within without earshot. Igor Stravinsky and the beasts of his spring equinox, from northeast to northwest, lapwings scurry away. Remembering the journey, living within the inner sanctum of the sanctuary, taking communion early every Sunday morning, returning from the Indus Valley to the snowfields over an alchemical dawn after the soul's midnight, exoplanets spinning within the outer darkness, taking an Anabaptist ceremony in the old churchyard, half-fracks bogged down, leading from the orphanage. A shepherd from Galilee fell from the edge of the world, walking home via street lamps, a dual carriageway, the moon rising over the orchard towards our light, living within the inner sanctum of the sanctuary, a ghost ago in the Hyperborean Isthmus, remembering his outstretched hand, the sun's shadow, a labyrinth living within the outer darkness, remembering the journey. Thank you very much.
Thanks a million, both of you. Wow, what stirring stuff. Stuff with a capital S, mind you. Absolutely fabulous. Um, Susie, you have this very moving note on poverty. No hope in shabby splendor. Poverty is graceless. And yet you have the word splendor in there, and a shabby splendor at that. It's got its own richness and color and brilliance of humanity, although graceless in other ways. And I love how you describe the moon is bright as it carved shadows on the leaves, or was it no, on the trees? Um, Amazing work. Of course, just the notion of the moon as a sculpture, and thinking of what happens in terms of shadow and light at night under the moon on tree trunks uh, as carving. It is so beautiful. And you have quite a lovely statement here. Nature in the raw, in her natural rhythms. Uh, Also, I love your person following the seasons. I think also of haiku and how, you know, traditionally, like the first line is a note toward to indicate a season or a time of day. Uh, and then as it unfolds, there's a leap of consciousness uh, within the haiku, not just a description, of course, but a leap of consciousness.